All right, guys, welcome to season 4 of our little dynasty here. And South Dakota's gonna open up this game hitting is that Hag? We got a Hag on the team here. He takes it all the way for 7 or for 6. Yeah, for sure. This is gonna be the very exciting start to our new season here. We got Bush starting out, getting a big gain after the stop from the defense. Flowers looking trying to get poised in the pocket, and we're gonna see, after that loss that South Dakota had to the Pasadena Honey Badgers in the Natty, we're gonna hope that they're gonna go back. I mean, Flowers is still a seasoned vet, and as I say that, the O line, I can't really tell if the O line is really good or really bad this season. Try to force the ball there to Stark, can't really get it there. He's the freshman redshirt, I believe. Running back that they kind of put out there in a wide receiver set, kind of like Jamil. And Malik takes the top of the defense after the stop, and then make it 14-0. But for sure, we would like to see South Dakota in the playoffs and possibly another Natty appearance. Back-to-back Natty appearances are nothing to shy away from when we're trying to talk about achievements here. And a nice catch by, I believe, Malik Clark. I don't remember who was there, but they try to run on second down, don't get it. On third down, it's incompletion, but still we get the touchdown off of a beautiful screen call. And we're just going to see a highlight of touchdowns here from Flowers and company, because it's just going to, we're playing Rice. We're not expecting, this is supposed to be a beat down Rice team. I believe Rice was good one of the season, maybe season 2, but honestly, we're not really going to see anything too crazy here. I believe that's holding. I'm not sure. But, nonetheless, 56-7. We're going to wrap this game up kind of quick here. Rice makes a nice little pass there, but, it doesn't really matter in terms of the game's, trajectory. Still, nice scramble from Rice. But, 28 in the second quarter, that's crazy to think about. And defense did a good job holding them to 7 the whole game. 500 yards, 7 touchdowns for your boy Josh. And it's going to be a nice game here. Everyone's going to pat him on the head, and you're going to get 1-0 on the season. First, we're going to start out with number 2 ranked Pasadena with their new starting quarterback, Stephen Hart. So Stephen Hart is going to be someone that's going to be interchangeable with their backup York, a lefty quarterback, scrambler type. Kind of think of a Walmart version of Michael Vick, except white chocolate edition. And we're going to see Stephen Hart here open up this drive with a couple of nice passes. We get a stop on defense, and Hart back in the red zone here and makes a nice ball to right shoulder to Penny. 14-0, gets another stop by the defense. Does a nice post. And honestly, this drive, this like sequence of drives, I believed in Hart wholeheartedly. Like I thought this is the slam dunk pick. We got Sorbsy in season 2, and season 3 we got Pugsley. I was thinking that this was going to be another type of quarterback that we could rely on, right? And not saying he's terrible, no, absolutely not. Missouri has been doing a great job of stopping this run game, as you saw with that run attempt from Jamil. Nice pass to Austin Clay, who is in his senior season. Hopefully we can get him to the league. I'm not too confident though, because he hasn't really been as impactful as his senior season. As his freshman season, but we're gonna try to keep an eye out for that, as Jamil takes this all the way to the house. He's still the reigning Heisman winner. I'm a little congested here, but we're gonna push through that here. So yeah, Hart, like I was saying, this is where the second half of the game is kind of where me on the sideline, I have my little clipboard in hand, trying to see, is this person gonna take us to the Natty? I don't know at the moment, because 42.5, beautiful. 49 in the third quarter, beautiful. Defense did a nice job holding them to 0 in the third, all the way up to the third, sorry. But this is where we're going to see a lot of missed throws here, kind of wobbly high passes. Peterkin made a monstrous catch to make that a 4th down conversion, but still, we're going to see quarterback Stephen Hart just, sometimes look really, really polished, and sometimes look very amateur-like. And we don't, me, if you know what I'm saying, if you know me as a coach, I don't really like the high highs and the low lows. I need, I'd rather have a steady quarterback here. He tries to hit somebody, he gets hit, interception. Me on the sideline, I'm not too mad about that. He's trying to get something going here. They score off of that turnover, but we score 2-3 more times and we end up getting this win. But nonetheless, though, main thing is I don't really like having high highs and low lows for a quarterback. I'd rather have a nice steady uh, performance here. And yeah, 560 is just like Josh Flowers did against Rice, and this is Missouri, so Missouri's for sure a better team than Rice. So he must have played a good game, but I think it's just the missed throws. Flowers, you don't really see that many missed throws in big games there. I mean, yeah, he has some. He's human, but not too many here. And that's why I'm kind of on the fence about Stephen Hart there. But just to get into the San Jose Tech game, earlier on they had some struggles here. I mean, that first drive they had pretty good looking, or at least it was looking pretty promising here. But back-to-back drives here, throwing interceptions, not the greatest look you want to see out of his offense. But this defense does get the stop, making this 10-0. We're gonna try to see Villa gets a nice reception in the middle, taking it down to the 14-yard line. And yeah, this lefty quarterback, I'm not really the big fan of lefty quarterbacks. I don't have one on my bench currently, but San Jose Tech, they like their left-hand quarterback as Green makes a nice play in the flat, spin moving off of a tackle and getting in for 6 there. So 13-10, kind of an odd score here. Phillips makes a nice play on that, and yeah, they run a little RPO and a nice play call, honestly. So they end up they end up scoring. So it's 17-20 here in the fourth quarter here. And this left-hand quarterback, honestly, is kind of breaking it down here. This is a young San Jose Tech team. I mean, yeah, they have some veterans, obviously, but for the most part, it's a very young team, and we really don't expect them to go any farther than the playoffs, maybe like second or first round. I mean, if they make it to the second round, it would be a huge accomplishment for this coach. Tuttle getting the wide receiver run here, but yeah, I mean, the only thing that they really have going for them is a veteran OC and DC kind of combo here, and have a really poised head coach. He's the type of head coach that takes a game very methodically and at times can be aggressive on defense, but not for the most part. Oh my God, what a play by the quarterback, scrambling, getting it 27-17, making the score a little bit more pretty than it really was. But yeah, San Jose Tech's team is very going to be a young offense, young defense with some sprinkled in veteran players. But honestly, the coaching staff is really what is going to make or break that game or that team. And oh my God, what a throw by, I don't even know how you say his name, Hook. Like, absolute insanity, bro. I know we were just talking about San Jose Tech, but Hook just threw a freaking prayer up to the Himalayas there. He just got 2 people on him. I don't know what's happening here. And yeah, Hook's going to be one of these type of players that's like Josh Allen, or Big Ben. He's going to be throwing fuckets, so it's either an interception or a touchdown. You don't really know what's going to happen here, but for sure, he is a person that's not very scared to put that ball up like this right there. Interception. But, the last one was a touchdown, so you can't really you can't have one and not the other, You're going to have both, and you have to deal with them as Hook being the starting quarterback for this team. But I do believe that Hook is a huge improvement over Anderson or Creel from the last seasons, even though, yeah, it's 14-7 against an underdog Ole Miss. But Ole Miss is very, very underrated team this season. I truly believe that their defense is bigger than it seems. And 21-7 is no laughing matter for this Florida State offense and defense, but it doesn't really matter because Hook is going to stay poised and get that to 21-14. They end up getting a stop, and it looks like they're going to have a nice drive here on 3rd and 2. Hook trying to find someone, and sees a wide open man, dog, and he goes all the way, making it score 21-21. They end up getting another stop, so back-to-back stops from the defense. Good job there. Nice sideline pass. Hook, right out of a sack, throws a nice play in the flat. I'm pretty sure that was a screenplay, but the lineman took forever to get out. No cheeseburgers for them. And they run a back-to-back screenplay. I believe the OC liked how that looked, and it was a great play call. I mean, beautiful matchup. 2 linemen for 2 players out there. It was beautiful. End up getting another stop, and they drive again, making this 35-21. I believe if he throws that. Oh, he's a psychopath. He doesn't even need the easy throw. He just goes right up for that contested ball there. But that's going to be a great game for Florida State against Ole Miss here. And yeah, they're the higher ranked team, but Ole Miss is no laughing matter here. I mean, first half they were definitely a unit, but this junior Ethan Hook 350, 5 touchdowns for sure. Someone to keep your eyes on for this season and next season. And Florida State's future is pretty bright. You know, they've had many running backs. I think they have 3 running backs. They had Abu Sama and other names just going ballistic at the running back position. So even though they don't have a crazy surefire best running back in the league this season out of a transfer portal, they usually develop great running back talent for the league. And if I was a running back, I would definitely want to go to a Florida State there. And to start off the game, Duke just throws a bombshell to South Dakota and keeping the score 7-3. But Flowers, you already know, he lets you do it right back. But Flowers, I think he anticipated the throw a little bit too late. I think he probably saw it there in his progression a little too late than he wanted to, making an interception there. And Duke is we're talking about Ole Miss being an underdog. 12 seed for Duke is an insult because Duke is insane with these plays. They're a nice RPO team, play action, rollout type of team here. As you saw, laser beams from these quarterbacks here. You know, it kind of reminds me of a South Dakota style offense. You know, where you throw it deep, then you get the RPOs and play actions for the short down and distance, and then the occasional runs that bust out for 70 plus yards. And that's exactly what Duke it looks like. But you know, Duke's just playing a better game overall. You know, on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, they're just playing very technically sound here, and they're making the big splash plays when they need to. And as I say, splash plays, you know, Flowers, huge throw to Hag, getting him down to the goal line, and none other than a RPO to Harrell. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, they play very similar in the short down and distance, and then in the long plays like this, they try to throw some bomb. But Williams, a great interception to kind of mirror what Duke just did, scoring for 6. And let's just take a look at what perfect coverage looks like, right? Because honestly, it's not a bad read. It's just great coverage. I mean, honestly though, maybe it was a tiny bit of a forced read there, but still, nonetheless, like, great play by Williams, the DB. They run it in for 6. They get it 24-20, and here we go. We got 3rd and 15 here on Duke's end. He's gonna try to scramble here. No, he's not. He's gonna try to make extra time, and he's gonna run out of bounds. I think that was a wasted play on Duke's behalf, but great pressure on South Dakota's end. I mean, and that's another thing that we haven't talked about yet. Oh, hold on. Let's just talk about this for a second. I believe they called this not in bounds, even though on the replay it really looked like they did get it in. And Malik trying to force it up to Malik there on Flowers' end. Flowers gets pressure and he gets sacked, so that's a big play. But what I was saying is, this season, oh my God, dude, I can't even say anything without Duke's making a big play on South Dakota's defense. I mean, they're looking like Swiss cheese, man. But anyway, what I was saying was, South Dakota's D-line has been revitalized. Like, it is insane the type of pressure that they're probably going to have this season. I mean, one of their DNs were just star-studded. Honestly, all of their D linemen are all star-studded. So we're really going to see a lot of pressure coming from these South Dakota State defenses here. And it looks like South Dakota kind of brought a little comeback here after a couple of stops and a couple of scores from Flowers, making it 34-34 in the 3rd. It looks like a straight shootout, as I was just complimenting that defense, but it really looks like it's going to be a shootout. I mean, a perfect ball from Flowers there, making it 41-34, but then another one just straight back. I mean, it is just insanity how these two quarterbacks are just taking their game. They're just taking over on each side of the ball. I mean, I don't know what's happening here. And Malik throwing Flowers throwing a prayer to Malik there. Doesn't work in this case. Usually does. And that's a bad read. Terrible read there. You're looking on the left side. You got to look right after that's too late there. And you just throw an interception to Harrell. But it doesn't really matter, though. You know, Flowers can trust this defense. And we're going to see a great 3rd down. And I'm pretty sure it's, oh my, the Duke quarterback just throws a laser in between right to the receiver there. And Duke's running back, oh my, he needs some milk, bro. Oh my God, Duke's running back's just throwing everyone off of him. Beautiful plays there. And yeah, so we got 55-48. Hopefully we got Flowers to kind of, Flowers is really a clutch master, so we're going to see if that can stay true here. and they do get the run in. So Kai Stark, I believe that's his name, makes a nice play getting into the end zone. A nice sack from this defense that I was just talking about earlier in this game. 55-55 here. We're going to see something. And Duke makes a nice play on third down. That was crucial to keep the game alive there. Not a lot open. You know, South Dakota runs a very deadly man coverage, and then they like to get this cover 6 look after on top of it once you get comfortable. So, but it looks like Duke has watched some film on this South Dakota defense, and oh my God, the running backs breaking tackles, gets down to 4th and inches, and they kick a field goal, ending the game 58-55. So a huge nail biter for the Blue Devils, and a great game, honestly, by both sides of the by both teams. I think what killed Florida State was that they were a little too slow in the beginning, and even though they made a nice change of pace to kind of bring the game back to life, I think it was too little too late, and a great sound team play by Duke, taking down a big giant in college football. As we see San Jose Tech, oh my God, what a throw by, I don't even know how you say his name, Alejandro, I don't know, but he makes a nice play. I mean, he's just throwing in between safeties, he's throwing crossers, and like I said, I'm not big on left-hand quarterbacks, but as he does a little dance there, I'm not big on left-hand quarterbacks, but this one looks very poised. We're going to see a lot of comeback routes, a lot of, but you could probably call San Jose Tech a more of a pro-style offense compared to the rest of the teams that we go over here. Pasadena likes the fast runs, the fast plays, the scrambles, you know, like the big plays, the exciting plays, you know, and when you get away from that, you can kind of beat Pasadena's offense, whereas San Jose Tech is a more of a technical offense. You know, you're gonna see a lot of comebacks, a lot of sticks, a lot of flat routes. Tom Brady S plays in. Oh my God, freaking their quarterback just throws off another man and just goes all the way for first down here, but they end up getting 4th and 21. I believe they got back-to-back sacks and the questionable read there, but I mean, you can't really blame them. You got to throw something. And like I said, you know, San Jose Tech is really a sound offense when it comes to most games. Now, obviously, the OC can get away from what they're supposed to do in some aspects, but for the most part, they're pretty sound, and they try to break your zones and man concepts down until, you know, they get that big play, because it's just a perfect call, right time, and oh my, what a throw, cross body, and you're gonna throw to your oh my God, can we just really talk about that play, right? Because obviously that was probably a game-changing play there. You know, he rolls right, he throws right from a left-handed perspective, right? And right in front of the defender, gets the score. So even though they get that win over Pitt, I'm going to say that was the quarterback all 100%. I mean, he's probably the MVP of that game, throwing dime after dime. And I think San Jose Tech really found their quarterback, and I'm really proud of that coaching staff finding someone that can really take it over, because, you know, they kind of struggled early on, and I like to see how they make strides into becoming a better program. Jamil and company goes all the way to the house, as I didn't even get to speak about Florida State versus Pasadena yet in the second game. They meet up pretty early here. The two teams that kind of play the most similar out of everybody. You know, they like to have the similar run plays, similar pass plays, but Huck finds himself on a 4th down and a beautiful pass. I mean, talk about perfect timing, perfect ball, like right in front of the safety and right over the linebacker is to a T what he just threw. And this is what I'm talking about earlier in the previous game with Florida State, where Huck is definitely going to be their surefire QB1. I don't see him getting subbed out at all, because he's just throwing things like that. I mean, I'm telling you, like, yeah, he threw a lot of interceptions the previous game, but he's going to throw, you know, beautiful passes like that, which led to a touchdown. I mean, yeah, the running back made a great back-to-back runs, but honestly, the drive was alive on that 4th and 21 because of that quarterback. So Stephen Hart makes a nice play, rolling to the right, throwing to Bush 2 times on the left side and the right. And the third backup on Pasadena's running back room just took it for 20. So even though they took him out because he wasn't the starter, a great play by him and a great throw by Hook. I think a weak point for this Pasadena defense all season could be Leon Irving. He's going to be a freshman, I believe, linebacker that they moved to, or I think it was a corner that they moved to free safety, or it was a free safety that moved to strong safety. But for some reason, he's looking a little bit chunky. He's looking a little bit slow. As you see there, he's a little bit too slow to get there. I really think that he's going to be a liability on this defense, even though in the future he's going to be honestly a star. Right now, he's a little bit unpolished, and I think Florida State can definitely exploit that. Peterkin and Bush just take those two plays to the house. I don't know what's happening. I think Florida State needs some tackling drills or something. I don't know what's happening, but time expiring in the second quarter here. We got 20 seconds left, and a huge play by Hook. I'm telling you, Hook is just that guy. If we're gonna say who's the most clutch quarterback in the entire NCAA, it might be Hook, because look at this. Like, we're gonna see huge plays like this one, I believe. Oh, great play by Leon Irving, but still, Hook is just insane. Like, another fourth down. Like, he just, if you see him on fourth down, you might as well just say, oh my God, a great hit, another great hit. I don't know what's happening. Falk is just, and you know what? We might need a steroid test for Falk there. I don't know what's happening. As I was just trying to compliment Hook there, I think Falk needs to go and piss in the cup, because I don't know what that was. And I think Lawrence needs to get into the weight room, because Lawrence and Falk were both linebacker duo of the season for freshmen, I believe. And Lawrence just got injured. And like what I just said, get in the weight room, Lawrence. He bruised his foot. I really hope he doesn't get injured for the rest of the season. But Falk definitely had a big boost. I think it's because Falk had those interceptions in the Natty, or like those big plays in the Natty, whereas Lawrence really was kind of quiet that game. And honestly, all throughout the playoffs, he was kind of quiet. I think he had a better start in the beginning. Great move by Jamil. But I think Falk, towards the end of the season, had a very, very productive season. And I think we're going to see more of that from Falk. And a huge throw and play by Peterkin and Hart there. And I think Kyle Lawrence is back out there. I don't know what's happening. He better make this tackle, though. And he's not. Murray's going to go all the way down to the 20. He still makes a tackle. Good play by Lawrence after he got the cutback. Great move by the safety. And like I said, another fourth down converted. I don't know what's happening. Great play by Falk. And another play by Crawford. Crawford's definitely going to be, if you didn't see, I don't know if I posted it, but we got two big D linemen from the transfer portal who are insane. And oh my God, and talking about insane, Jamil finally gets his house call. He has to get at least one a game, man. He always has to get at least one a game. But like I was saying, Crawford just, I can't speak without saying things. Dog, it just goes all the way over to the house. And like I said, Leon Irving is going to be a big liability for this Pasadena defense here. But before I was really interrupted, and another nice play by Bush. Like, I literally can't speak without something insane happening. Every time I speak, something's going crazy. And Bush, a great play, making it 42-25. A minute left. I think we're just gonna have to talk about it later, because Hook throws a nice oh my God, I thought that was in. Hook throwing absolute prayers up there. I can't even say the prayers, because he's connecting every single one. Nice play by Bush on the right side shoulder by Hart, scoring 50-25. Damn, and finally Leon Irving gets his interception. Finally. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, Leon. You were kind of getting cooked out there. Last play of the game, and Bush gets his third of the game. Great plays by him. So we're going to see Oklahoma versus South Dakota. But like I said before, I don't even know what I was talking about. I think, oh yeah, the D tackles that we just got. Huge impact. Crawford's going to be an insane person to have on this defense. And every time I talk about Crawford, man, Malik Clark, a great play, splitting the safeties like he always does. And I just want to talk about Crawford later, because we're just going to see another big play on South Dakota, and number 13 just breaks two tackles and goes to the house. I don't know what's happening. I think every time I talk about something that's not the game at hand, we just see insane plays. So I'm just going to keep watching. And Stark makes a nice move, getting down to the 20. And I believe the quarterback for nice move by Stark, great blocks, getting it 14-7. But I believe the quarterback for Oklahoma is Damon Williams, and we did have Damon Williams had some interest, or Pasadena had some interest in Damon Williams, but he ended up going to Oklahoma. where they met, where Pasadena met Oklahoma many times. But I believe he hasn't really had that much of a. He has a big impact, but he hasn't had that much success there at Oklahoma. So we really wonder if him going to Pasadena would have been better for him. But nonetheless, I mean, Pasadena has some great quarterbacks, or at least great quarterback luck in the transfer portal. So I can't really say anything on that. But like I see, South Dakota putting a nice defensive performance, holding him to 14 at the moment, and Flowers throws a nice play to Malik Clark. And we're really seeing Flowers' last season in the college football in general. I mean, he's a redshirt senior, and it's going to be hard for him to leave this stadium as he really owns it. I mean, nice throw to Harrell. But yeah, it's going to be hard for South Dakota to really get used to a different quarterback here when he's been such a leader and such a big time playmaker. And talk about big time playmaker, Damon, huge play. As I was just saying, he hadn't had that much success. Ginormous play to 13, crossbody off platform throw, looking a little bit. And Nigel Nelson just got injured. What's happening here for this defense? Nigel Nelson, if you don't know, from the second season, he's been an insane linebacker prospect, but looks like it's a bruised knee, so not something too serious, hopefully. But like I was saying, a devious throw by Damon Williams. I don't know what he is throwing at all, and that pretty much seals the game, 63-21. Kind of embarrassing for Oklahoma, honestly. But yeah, I believe Damon Williams could have more success at Pasadena if he would have came. But nonetheless, Flowers, like I was saying earlier, we're gonna really miss Flowers there. Pasadena's not gonna miss Flowers. I mean, I do not want to see that dude anymore. I mean, he's making insane throws constantly against my team. But as someone who's a third, trying to look at it from a third-party perspective, we're gonna miss him for sure. I mean, he's always someone that's making clutch plays here for that South Dakota team, and hopefully he gets drafted to a great organization. We don't really know where he's gonna go in the draft, but at least first round. And great plays by South Dakota or South Jose Tech here, getting that first drive there, looking real methodical. Some sprinkled in big plays, but like I said, fourth down, we're not gonna get to anything too out of the book or out of the box here. You're gonna get sacked on second down, so you're gonna have third down, and you're gonna see Gaskin make a nice play to Jukes, getting down to the 10. Like I said, I think San Jose Tech's a nice throw out of a sack, getting that touchdown 14-0. But like I was saying, you're not gonna see much of any big plays, and if you do see big plays like this, it's mainly because the receivers are getting just, or at least the playmakers are making plays themselves. I mean, nice. That's a nice scheme, though. That's a nice scheme. You can't even lie. That's a nice scheme. But I'm not saying the schemes are not meant for big plays. I just mean the big plays come from the athletes themselves. And in all honesty, the normal offense of San Jose Tech is just being ahead of the chains and really being a unstoppable force, like a Tom Brady-esque offense. You know what I mean? Like the check down, the first down. You're getting a short second down. You're being ahead of the chains there, and these big plays are just coming from athletes being athletes. The rest of it is just a winning style football offense. And that's not really what you see in college. Most of the time, you see try to make big plays, but 63-7. When you have a great style offense, I mean, look at that, 70 completion rating, 9 touchdowns. You see the big plays sprinkle in purely because you're running good schemes against what you're running, against who you're playing. And honestly, most times, oh my God, Keon Washington just got cooked. I don't know what that was. They ended up not scoring anything. It was a great defensive performance, but still, that was embarrassing by Keon Washington. Keon Washington is someone that usually comes in on those run plays and is a force to be reckoned with, but not against this team. I believe this team is a 99 overall. So this is going to be, quote unquote, the hardest game of the season, but I don't believe it is. It's just going to be a normal game for us. But you could definitely see the overall difference in some aspects. Like, obviously, we're still going to score. We're still going to make plays on offense and defense. But there's some things that you see that are just insanity because of these overall differences. But like I was saying, San Jose Tech's a very exciting team because you know, even though they probably might not go anywhere far this season, the pure fact that they have an offense that just is relenting against the defense, you know, it's something exciting to see if they can go far in this season. An amazing play by Jamil. I don't know what's going on. I think we're seeing a absolute masterclass in the running back position and blocking, I think. But a huge play by Notre Dame, finally getting on the board, 14-7. And Hart's gonna roll right, trying to find somebody. He finds Bush, and like I'm saying, you know, Bush is a junior. I really hope, because this is a very old Pasadena team. This season and next season, everybody you're seeing on this offensive side of the ball and kind of the defensive side of the ball, you're not really gonna see him anymore. You know, you're not gonna see Bush in 2 seasons. In 2 seasons, you're not gonna see Jamil. You're not gonna see Keegler. You're not gonna see Matt Penny or Austin Clay after this season. You're not gonna see Peterkin. You know, Peterkin's senior season is this season as well. There's a lot of old pieces, and there's a lot of new pieces like Tim Curl just got that huge play, and then Jamil for the touchdown. But I'm honestly very upset that we're really gonna see this dynasty of a team. You know, I can't really say it's a dynasty because, you know, they only have 1 ring, but what I'm saying is that this team really started out what this program means to play. You know, they showed everyone before and after. I mean, oh, great play by the field goal unit. I remember us calling this play just for fun because I hate the Notre Dame coaching staff for stealing one of my players last season, so we had to run that instead of running the clock out. Trust me, it was totally professional. But like I was saying, you know, Pasadena, very young, very old team, and it's gonna be hard to see the people who set the standard and made who the staple of what Pasadena means to play as a team in general just leave. But it's okay though, you know. Players are meant to come and go, and at times you gotta see them go away. You know, you gotta see them flourish in a different aspect. You gotta see them do what they do on the next level. And we're gonna see Hook against ECU try to throw up a nice ball there, but ECU is probably their best positional group is the DBs all the time. I think the ECU DB coach is probably one of the best in the nation. Most times, it's, you know, everything else about ECU is kind of, you know, mid or below average, but for sure DBs are always something nice to see out of ECU. And oh, nice play by Hook to Dog, getting the touchdown, 7-0. Huge stop, getting them down to the red zone again, making it 14-0. And I think we're gonna see another stop. Yeah, we are. And we're gonna see a great, what would have been a great play, but Hook got a little bit too excited, a little bit too dancy there in the pocket. Great pressure by that nose tackle there off the center, forcing that interception or that stop on 4th down, and they throw another interception. So like I said, you know, the defense playing pretty good against Hook, which is surprising. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about with these plays. Just throw it up and someone catches it. I don't know what's happening. Some Aaron Rodgers type of stuff. You know, just throw it up there, and every time it's just great plays happen. I don't know what's wrong with Hook. He's just the most clutch player I've ever seen for some reason. I don't know what's happening. There we go, Hook. He's gonna roll left there and get that touchdown, 28-0. So you know, you can't really blame this offense. You can't really blame this defense, because even though Hook is a high-level quarterback and he's gonna throw passes like that, I mean, I thought he was gonna connect on that pass, but he kind of just killed his receiver there. But like I was saying, you can't really blame the defense, even though it's 28-7, because 28 points is not that many points, especially when they've been on the field the entire time. And only 7 points on the offense is laughable, or 14. But nonetheless, yeah, so the offense got to play better on ECU's behalf. I mean, you got to do something to really step up that game there. But great game and performance by Florida State there. And that's going to be the end of this. That's going to be the end of episode 1. I almost said end of the season, chill. That's going to be the end of episode 1. The next episode is going to be pretty quick in succession to this one. So stay tuned. And yeah, I'll see you.